Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube where we talk about Excel and all the cool things you can do in the Excel platform. Today we're going to talk about the match function. Okay, we're going to start by taking a look at the data set that we have. This data set can be downloaded using the link that's in the description so you can follow along with this particular video. So this particular data set has about 14 rows of data and 7 columns. Now, I've got a small amount of data, but I want you to imagine this process if we had thousands of lines of data. Let's start by understanding what the match function is and does. The match function is a tool that allows you to find the location of a particular line of data within a larger data set. So in this case, I'm using a very small data set, but you can imagine eventually how useful this would be if you had a very long data set with maybe 1,000 lines or 2,000 lines of data, and you wanted to find a particular piece of data. So before we actually go set up the match function, let's look at the arguments that are built into the function. There are 3 arguments built into the match function. The first one is the lookup value. Okay, now the lookup value is going to be the amount or the item that you're telling match to go look for. I'm going to type that in. You, the user, are going to type in the lookup value, and it's good. I've identified a space in green up here, cell J3. That's going to be my lookup value space. That's where the lookup value is going to be located, and that's where match is going to go to find that. Now, the lookup array is the second argument. The second argument tells match where to go look to find the thing that I told it to go look for. Okay, so that's going to be a range of values or a range of amounts, a range of data in which it's going to find, hopefully, the thing I'm telling it to look for. If it doesn't find it, it's going to give me an NA as a return value. Now, the third argument is our match type. This tells it, do I want it to look for something that's an exact match or not an exact match? So in this case, we're probably usually always going to use the exact match. I found very, very few cases in the world where you would not want to use the exact match. So we'll usually have to put this in here. It's 0 equals the exact match that you're looking for. So with that, let's go see how we actually set up and use the match function. Okay, so I'm going to simply start by typing in my function, equals match. I'm going to type it in my cell J4, which is where I want the return to be. It's where I want the answer to my question is going to be in cell J4. So I can type equals match. Now, when you type in the first parenthesis, it's going to give you a little box that tells you what each of those 3 arguments are. In this case, it's lookup value, lookup array, and match type, right? Okay, so that's okay. So what we're going to do, though, is I'm going to use the Control A function. Now, Control A is going to bring up a function dialog box. I love this function dialog box that comes in Excel. A lot of people don't want to use it. They think it's a crutch, but it's actually a really great tool because there's no way any of us can remember all of the arguments for every single function that comes up. And even when you get it in this little line here, sometimes it's hard to remember because as soon as you start typing things in, you start to forget what to type in next. So I'm going to simply go Control A, and over here, it's going to bring up for me, over about in the center of your screen, my dialog box. Now, let me make this a little bigger so that you can see it. There it is. So my magnify and my lookup value, remember we said it's going to be over in cell J3 over here. All I have to do is click in that cell and it will automatically put it into my dialog box. So I click on it and there it is. Now, it's important at this point to remember to hit the tab button to go to the next argument box, because if you don't, you'll keep typing in arguments, because sometimes you say, well, I just know the next argument, so I'll just type it in. But what a lot of people do, they'll then do this. They'll go over here and they'll just highlight the range for the lookup array. Well, that's fun, I guess, but when you look back at the argument box, now I got a whole bunch of stuff in that argument box that doesn't make sense. So we don't want all that stuff. We just have to remember when we're in this box, we click over here for this, then it's gonna put it in there. We're gonna hit tab. It's gonna take us right down to the next argument box. Now, in this argument box is where I'm going to put the range of places of the place where I want match to go look to find the thing that's in the lookup value box. I'm going to simply highlight that's in column G. I'll highlight that down here, and we'll go all the way down here to row 16, and we let it up. Now, because this is in a table, it told me it's in table 1, and it highlighted the amounts that are in the rank of sales column. If this was simply a range of data, it would simply tell you the range. It would say G2 to G16. And what you might want to do is fix that range, because if you're going to copy this formula anywhere else, you don't want the range to change, right? You want the range to still look at the same location. So you might want to hit the F4 to fix this range. But because it's in a table, you don't have to do that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is go down to the third argument tab, and that's my match type argument. And remember, we're going to use 0 because we want an exact match. Now, when I hit enter, here it's all entered into my formula. I hit enter, it's going to give me an answer going to say NA. Why does it say NA? It says NA because I haven't told it what to go look for yet. If I say I want to go find the number 1 sales, the store that's number 1 in sales for all this group of stores, I hit a 1 because I'm looking for rank number 1, and I hit enter. And it's going to tell me it's in row 6. Is that the case? Well, we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's this row here. It's row 7. And I highlight that. And sure enough, when I go over, that's the number 1 store. And I find out that my number 1 sales is $20,000. Now, what if I wanted the last store? I know I've got 15 stores. Let's go look at the last store. And I type in 15. It tells me it's in row 5. And sure enough, if I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's in row 6. That's the downtown store, and it's only got $8,316 in sales. Now, what would happen if I typed in item 16? It's going to say NA because there is no 16. Okay, it doesn't exist. So it would tell me that 16, it only has 15 stores. I get to over 16, it's going to keep giving me this NA every time I do it. So that's basically how we use the match function. There's a couple of other things we could do. We could search for words if we wanted to. We can search for anything, but that's the basic approach to how we use match. Well, I hope that video was helpful to you. I hope you understand better now how to use the match function. It's a really useful tool in Excel in certain circumstances. Hey, if you like this video, make sure and click the like button below. We'd also love for you to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell also so that you'll be informed when we publish new videos. In the meantime, stay on YouTube, stay safe, and we'll see you real soon right back here on Stuff in Excel.